Hello, crafty friends. This is the Paper Chef here. In today's Brother Scan and Cut Tips and Tricks tutorial, you're going to learn how to cut out stamped images in several different ways. And the stamped images we're going to be cutting out are from the Spooky Treats Paper Pumpkin Kit, which just came in the mail. This is the September 2022 Paper Pumpkin Kit. I'm going to show you what the ghosts look like. So awesome. They're big, they're happy ghost, they're fun ghost. Easy to stamp, easy to cut out. Then what I thought I would do, and this is what the stamp set looks like. When you get a paper pumpkin kit, you always get an exclusive stamp set. I thought I would take a retired stamp and cut out the little bat for you to show you something, just to show you that you can use any of your stamp sets to cut out stamped images. I thought I would take the little spider from here because this is cuter than the spider in the kit, I think. This is from Cutest Halloween, also a retired stamp set. And I figured I would take the little feet, the witch's feet from Bewitching, which is a current stamp set in our holiday catalog. Bewitching is pretty awesome because it comes in a bundle. And the bundle that it comes with is a stamp set and a punch. So this is the bundle. So there's a punch with the witch's hat. So therefore, because we do sell a punch, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'm not going to show you how to cut out the hat itself. But use your punch to cut it out, or of course, you can use your ScanNCut to cut it out the same way we cut out anything else. So let's get stamping, and then let's get going, and I'll show you different ways to cut out this little ghost. So first thing we're going to do is mount the ghost. We're going to take it, and we're going to put it on a stamping block. Okay, let me move my ScanNCut out of the way for a moment. I'm going to go ahead and unload the mat here so I can get this mat out of the way. Okay, I'll put that over there. So I'm gonna take a piece of basic white cardstock, and we'll go ahead and let me see what all do I need here. I'm not gonna do fresh freesia yet. We'll start with black. So I'm gonna start with some basic black ink, and it's called for our Memento Black ink. Okay. Now let's take the stamping. We're going to take this ghost from the Spooky Treats Paper Pumpkin Kit. And there's like little stuff that got stuck on it. And I don't know how that got on there. But let's go ahead and put the flat side up and then mount it onto the stamping block. So now what you're going to do is you're going to tap, tap, tap into your Memento Black ink. And then just tap onto your mat a couple times to make sure you have like a good inked up stamped image before you stamp it onto your basic white paper. Okay, looks like it's pretty good coverage. And then the other way to get a good stamped image is you can put this silicone mat under your basic white paper, basic white cardstock, and that'll give you a little bit better image. Now, don't go too close to the edge of the paper because we are going to put little outline distances around our little ghost. Oh, he's so cute. Love my ghost. Okay, we'll cut it. We'll do a couple for good measure. All right, so now I'm happy with those stamped images. It doesn't get any easier than this, folks. If you're new to the ScanNCut, this is what the ScanNCut does. You have a perfectly outlined image here. It'll just cut it out for you. Okay, let's do the little spider web. I didn't do these little bats and I didn't do these bats because I stamped these bats and these little stars as backgrounds, and I used all the sentiments, and you'll see how I use them. I have about 14 projects to show you. Let's go ahead and mount the spider web onto this little tiny little stamping block A. So I have about 14 projects to show you. So if you're new to my channel, I always show you the projects at the end of my video and show you how I did them to give you lots of inspiration on what we just made. Okay. We'll do a couple spider webs. Oh, and one thing that I did by accident is I did some twinsies. So if you put two spider webs together, they'll cut out as little twin spider webs, which was kind of fun. All right, so that's good from our kit. That's from this month's Paper Pumpkin Kit, which is different every month. We never know what we're going to get, which I totally love. That's what I love about Paper Pumpkin, is you never know what you're going to get. All right, now let's take the Bewitching feet. We're going to take the little witch's feet. And this is a cling stamp, so it's a little bit more detailed. Okay, mount that on the stamping block. Tap, tap, tap into the black. It takes a little bit more to get ink onto the cling stamps than it does on the photopolymer stamps. And you have to go around, you have to do it a few times to get good coverage. Of course, it would probably help if I re-inked my ink pad. All right, so there we go. Good enough for this purpose. The ScanNCut will recognize it. I'm just holding it onto the paper for a few seconds. And we have a great little pair of witch's feet. All right, what else can we stamp in this little area? Oh, the bat. I already told you I would stamp the bat because I think this bat is cuter than the spider. So, Bewitching. That's where I got the witch's feet. Okay, we'll go get a retired bat. I told you all that when this stamp set was retiring last year that you need to have it. I mean, I use the heck out of it still all the time. I just used it in my ScanNCut course called Fall Projects. You know, this Happy Thanksgiving stamp is very useful. Happy Haunting. So if you like something and it's going to retire, don't forget to get it before it retires. But Banner Year was a pretty awesome one. So I'm going to get the little bat from there. But if you have a retired bat punch, I'll show you what I did with the retired bat punch. And if you took my Fall Projects course, you're going to know that the ScanNCut, you can make your own bats with the ScanNCut. I just love this bat. It's so cute from Banner Year. All right, let's get the little spider from Cutest Halloween. See where I'm going with this? You can absolutely get any of your stamp sets and just start trying to cut them out. I'm going to get the cute little spider. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. All right, here we go. And we have a couple spiders. Good enough for our demo. Let's go ahead and load this onto our mat and cut it out with the ScanNCut. And hopefully not lose all these stamps. Let's put all these, stick them over there. Stamps everywhere. All right, we're going to put this. So you're going to load your paper onto your mat like this. And be remembering not to cover up these registration marks because the scanner needs to see those when it's scanning. So don't cover up your registration marks. All right, so what I want to do right now is cut out something with a 0.4 outline distance. That's what I want to show you. That's the demonstration I'm going to do. Meaning you're going to get a little white outline around your stamped images. I like a little white outline around the stamped images. It really helps give it some dimension, but sometimes, I'm going to go ahead and load the mat. Sometimes you don't want the outline around the stamped image, and I will show you what happens when I created some little ghost earlier that didn't have an outline around them. And then also I'm going to show you in the next demo what happens when you put a bigger outline distance around them. All right, so let's go ahead and tilt my camera a bit so you can see the monitor. So let's go ahead and go to the home button. So you turn on your machine. Let's go ahead and focus this so you can all get here right from the very beginning. So say you're new to the ScanNCut and you've never tried this technique before of cutting stamped images. The first thing you want to do when you turn on your machine is you're going to see pattern and scan, and you're going to want to scan because you need to scan these little ghosts into the machine. So we're going to click scan, and we're going to be directly cutting these out. We're not saving them. We're not storing them. We're directly cutting them, and then we're going to use them on our cards and projects. So we're going to click on Direct Cut. This is asking where you want to temporarily store the information. You're going to temporarily store it on your machine. So you're going to select the machine as opposed to storing it online. Because my paper is only 12 by 6, the piece I'm starting with, I'm just going to go ahead and save time by saying that I only need to use the 12 by 6 area. Now, if you wanted to, if you had a bigger piece of paper, you could have stamped loads of images and used 12 by 12. That would take longer. So go ahead and use 12 by 6 if that's all you have. Even though you can color things and cut and stamp things in color, you still want to use what's called the black and white recognition mode if you can for contrast, because the color recognition mode takes a lot of time. Go ahead and click start, and it's going to scan in your images. Okay, let me go ahead and move some stuff out of the way back there. I had some projects back there. So there's like stuff it was going to bump into back there as it scans in. Okay, now it's recognizing the images, so we're going to click OK. It did a beautiful job recognizing those images. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just temporarily on this camera, just so you can see what a beautiful job it did recognizing those images. So you want to, if you want to get rid of any extra bits that it scanned in, you can select an area just that you want to use for this particular cutting, or you can also ignore object size, which will ignore small objects that maybe got scanned in. This is a pretty clean mat, so I don't really need to ignore small objects, but you can ignore small objects. Go ahead and click OK. I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out so you can see the entire screen, okay? So you're going to click OK. And it's going to now show you everything that's about to cut, but I want to put this outline distance around these of 0.04. That's the smallest outline distance I can select. So I'm going to go ahead and select 0.04. And then I'm going to click OK. And it's going to, and then click OK again, and it's going to cut out these images once I select the mode. Now I can either, I'm going to cut these, but I could have drawn these if I had a drawing tool attached right now. Emboss if I had the embossing starter kit. I can do foiling if I had the glue tip. But no, we're going to use cut. So go ahead and cut and click start. So I'm just going to show you what it's doing. Now, it's doing what's called auto blade technology. It's determining the depth of my mat. It's putting a little cut on my mat. It's fairly a new mat. So you're going to see that as your mat gets used a lot, you get a lot of cuts on them. That's the cut, that's the test cut that the machine does. It determines how deep your paper is in relation to how deep the mat is. So the mat is a reference point. And then what it does is it determines, okay, this is cardstock and how deep and how much pressure it needs. So then it's just going to cut out your stamped image. If that's not cool to watch, I don't know what is. Can you imagine how long this would take us if, cutting these out with scissors? So it's cutting them out for us, and it's doing a pretty good job with an even outline distance. And if it's not doing a good job putting the same amount of white on one side as it is on the other, then you need to do what's called the scanning cutting position adjustment. And I have lots of videos on how to align your blade by doing that adjustment. So mine's doing a good amount of white space, like an even amount of white space on both sides. So I'm happy with that. So I will go ahead and just say hello while it's cutting. So hello, Stamp, Cut, and Create. That's Linda from Florida. She's on my team, the Paper Chefs. And Yvonne is too. And hello, Yvonne. And Charlotte. And Shaz. Oh, I like your name. That's cool. So Shaz. S-H-A-Z. So Shaz is saying she doesn't get paper pumpkin over in the UK. But Shaz, it's okay because you do get you might not get paper pumpkin and this particular ghost, but you may have this cutest Halloween from last holiday catalog. You could cut out this ghost, although there's a punch to go with that. You could maybe have this one that retired. You could cut out the bats. So you could cut out the Bewitching. It's available now. Is it called Bewitching or Bewitched? You know what I mean. The one with the little, this one. Bewitching. This is available now. So it doesn't matter that you don't get paper pumpkin in the UK. Well, it does matter. I do want you to have paper pumpkin in the UK. But what I'm saying is you can still use your ScanNCut to cut out stamped images no matter what country you're from and no matter if you get paper pumpkin or not. But of course, I have a lot of paper pumpkin subscribers because I'm a US demonstrator. Now I'm showing you how to get these off the mat. Okay, so that's what I'm showing you now. I'm pulling the paper off. And I'm going to go ahead and unload the mat, okay, so that then I can show you how to get these off the mat. This mat's pretty sticky right now, so it says it's done cutting. I'm going to say, well, just so you can see this, I'm just going to say okay. I went okay, and then I'm going to hit unload, okay, and I'm going to do that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend the mat a little bit, and that's how you get these off, and you can use your little spatula that came with it. So that's how you get your little items off. I'm telling you, these ghosts are so cool. All right, we're going to get out the little spider webs. So now we have instant embellishments. I want to tell you a couple more things about layering these before we move on to the next topic that I have planned for you. So I want to do a little bit of coloring and talk about layering, even though I didn't actually need to layer for this project. So when I show you things that I'm working on, it's actually things like my friends are having a Halloween party. And I of course, am making the party favors and I'm donating a lot of decorations because that's how I roll and that's what I do. Like, I mean, other people say, oh, I'm bringing food, which I'll probably do something spooky too. But I'm doing the paper crafts. I'm doing the party favors. So I didn't really need to like layer layer something behind all these. I mean, they're going to be treats that we eat. Okay, so then anyway, got these off the mat. Okay, let's talk about this one here because I thought it was really fun to color. And put this on there for a second. Grab my. So anyhow, so what I'm working on is just making party favors. I thought it was cool that this parakeet party. I thought it was just kind of fun to go around and color in some ghost. Okay. They came out cool. So I just used like this. We have these sets of dark and light alcohol markers, and I just used the dark around the outside. Little circular motion in there. Okay, and then just kind of pulling in the color. Okay, so you can color in your ghost. You can also take what's called the Wink of Stella. My Wink of Stella here already has a little bit of color in it because I colored this one with a little bit of ink. But this is a little bit of a blue tinge. It has a pool party tinge on this Wink of Stella. It's a glitter pen. Now, you don't have to dye your Wink of Stella. I'm just telling you I happen to dye this one. This one has the most glitter in it. But even if you just use the clear one on your ghost, which I did before I sort of ran out, then it still makes a nice shiny ghost. So look at how fun that is to put some sparkle in your ghost or some color in your ghost. All right, so a couple more things. And then this one you just, for the little feet, I just did something like here, get the blends. Excuse me. All right, I'm just getting a lozenge in for my throat. All right, I had to get something to suck on and some water so I wouldn't cough. All right, so you could go like this. And color the little boots. All right, so you get the idea. Now what I want to show you is how to cut out something that you emboss. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to give you the result of that. So you can see how glitter, color the ghost, right? And it doesn't matter if I stamp the ghost in fresh freesia, it's still going to cut out the same way. But now what I want to show you is, say we want to make a ghost on a piece of black cardstock. Okay. All right. Excuse me. You see why I don't always like to go live? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, the benefit of recording a video is you can edit out all those coughing noises if you happen to be coughing. All right, so let me go ahead and turn my camera downwards like that. And what I'm going to show you is this is a piece of black cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. And we're going to stamp this white ghost. All right. All right. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm getting the white ghost to be really good coverage, right? And then I will add a little bit of embossing powder just to make it really like stick on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a little bit of clear embossing powder. And finally, I think my throat has stopped doing whatever it was doing. All right, so there you go. So you see that? So that is a white ghost, and it has some clear embossing powder on it. So what I want to do, I had to do that while it was wet, right? And by the way, I'm just using craft white ink. I'll go ahead and do a couple more. Okay, so while the ink is wet, that's when you want to put the clear embossing powder over the top of the white, the craft white ink. All right, so this one already has embossing powder on it. We'll go ahead and put embossing powder on those two. Okay, so now we have white ghost, and I get asked all the time, can you cut out embossed, items? I get asked, can you cut out embossed items? I get asked, can you cut out items that are on black cardstock? So this will answer both of those questions for you. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my scissors. I mean, not my scissors, my tweezers. My tweezers are from the Embossing Editions Starter Kit. So I'm just heating up these little ghosts. The embossing powder has to heat up. Because what that does is it sets the embossing powder on there. So you could just use like basic craft white ink, but that ink smears really easily. And you still have to heat set or really let it dry for a while. So like if you use the white ink, you have to let it dry. So I just figured, why not put clear on top of it? And then look how it transforms and changes color into that spooky translucent ghost. Not only that, it's shiny. It's really cool because it's a shiny ghost. So that's what I love about it. Okay, so the clear, what I'm doing is I'm heat setting the clear embossing powder. And it's also making, like, even if I didn't have clear powder, you'd still want to heat set your white craft ink, okay? All right, I'm happy with that. Now, I hope you can see that that is shiny. And now we're going to scan and cut those out. But I tried to cut those out with the same outline distance, right, of 0.04, but they didn't really work. So what I want to do now is show you how to cut these out with a 0.08 outline distance. That seemed to work much better. I'm going to go ahead and put this down, not too close to the edge. All right. It should stick on there pretty well. All right, so now let's go ahead and scan. Let me get my little fun stuff off of here. And we're going to go ahead and load the mat, and then I'll bring the machine closer. Tilt the camera. Do all the fun stuff. And then, you got to wash this one off really good because this ink is like, it's like paint, the white ink. You have to use Dawn dishwashing liquid to get that stuff off. Or it gets all over your hands. All right, let's go ahead and now we're going to show you how to scan and cut. I'm going to get my stylus. Okay, we're going to go to scan, direct cut. This is a review. Save it to the machine temporarily. 12 by 6. Because these are just 3 little ghosts on top. All right, now let's go, okay. And now I'm going to zoom in to show you what we need to do. So what we need to do is it recognize this square over here as one shape. And these little areas, we need to go like this. We need to make a selection around just those. Ghost. Okay, we need to ignore small objects. So in case there's any little stray bits. And then what I like to do for this one is I like to make an outline distance of 0.08. Okay, now that 0.08 seemed to be better because, well, that one is a little nick in the head, but it just seemed to like looked cooler for like these darker colors. Okay, so I'm going with the 0.08 outline distance. I'm going to click OK, OK, and cut. And that should just take a minute. We'll just wait for that. The top one is, the one on the right had a little bit of a nick to it, but that's okay because you can fix that with your scissors. I'll show you what this looks like as it's doing it because it's really fun. All right, now let me go ahead and keep on saying hi to you. And really, guys, don't worry about me. I've been coughing for like a week, so it's not like today is any different, but it's like the show must go on, right? All right. I mean, I'm not coughing like constantly for like a week, but what I'm saying is my throat has been super dry. I take like Theraflu. So, good morning. Okay, we said hi to Charlotte and Shaz, the little ghost. Yvonne likes the little ghost. And so good. Linda also has her paper pumpkin kit. She's happy about that. Angela, yay! Getting the ScanNCut for Christmas this year. And Maggie, good morning from New Jersey. And Catcorn, love that name too. Just brought a ScanNCut. All right, I'm glad you like this tutorial. I always like to go back and do beginning tutorials, like every month or so. I try to go back to the basics and do a basic beginning tutorial. Because my other courses I have a lot of courses that are more advanced. Oh, this came out good. Now, the only thing is about this black cardstock is black cardstock's very fibrous. So it does stick to your mat a little bit, right? But that's no big deal. Okay, so I pulled off the cardstock. We're good to go there. All right. And let me finish saying hi. Dee from Canada. Donna Joe. Listening only. Sorry for all the coughing, Donna Joe. Cynthia. Cynthia, you can be as good as me in the ScanNCut. You just practice it all. That's the only reason I'm proficient in this is from practice. I'm going to lift up a little bit like that. And then, you can pull it off with the... Oh my goodness, I can't get over the cuteness of these ghosts. Okay, let's put it on something so you can see the contrast there. Okay, so look how cool it looks like with the translucent spooky ghost, right? So now, if you want to get this off, now this is a new, like I said, this was a new mat, so these are kind of sticky, right? I'm just lifting up a little and using my little spatula under there rather than unload the mat. I mean, I'm going to unload the mat too, but what I'm saying is rather than bend the mat. Now, to get these off, so you can go in and like rinse this off with this in the sink because before you restick the mat, which I have a lot of tutorials on, there's still a lot of sticky to this mat. See this? Let me let you listen to this. So you can hear that sticky sound, right? So you do not want to you don't want to restick the mat yet. It's really sticky still, but you can wash off this in the sink with warm water and get that little fiber off there. It will help you and keep your mat lasting longer. So you just wash it with warm water. All right, let's see if we need to do anything else. There's a few things you could do. Like say you wanted to make sentiments, like extra sentiments. I can talk about that, and I can talk about layering. Okay. So I'm not like say you have a paper pumpkin kit and you want to extend it and you want to make extra sentiments or extra shapes. Well, first let me talk about layering. Say you wanted to make like an extra layer around this, like a bigger layer. Like, for instance, this, you wanted to put, like, an extra black layer around the white one, right? So that's all you do is you change the cardstock out, and you can just keep on increasing the layer size, right, like this. And that would make a bigger outer layer, right, and 16. So you start at the 4, okay? So this is 4, and then this is 0.08. Okay, so then you can cut another layer, and then you want a bigger layer, 0.12. Okay, so that's how to layer your images. Now that we're done talking about that, before I show you the projects, I want to talk about. So say you get a paper pumpkin kit and you're like, I really would like to extend this kit. Like I want to make a bunch of shapes for sentiments. So you could go into pattern and you can go into shapes and you could take like a square, for example, and you could turn it and then check off this button here, which is making sure that it's not in proportion. So you could just like, okay, maybe you make it like, I'm not even sure how big the shapes are that came with the kit, but let's just say I extended mine, okay? I made a lot of extra rectangles and things. Like these are the shapes that came with the kit. So let me zoom out and measure this for a second just so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, I am zoomed out. Wow, that looks pretty close. All right, let's look at this on the mat. All right, so this came in the kit and it's a shape that's, all right, so this is 1 inch. Okay, 1 by 1.5 inch. Okay, I want to make more of these shapes. Okay, hope you're following. So 1 inch high, 1 inch high by 1.5. Okay, and then you can make yourself a load of these shapes, like lots of them. I'm not gonna make a lot right now. Let's just say I'm gonna make 2 right now. Okay. So go ahead and we could put the paper in there and you could, actually I'm not going to make them. I'm just telling you about them. So you can make extra shapes for your sentiments. Okay, and a few other things I did during this particular project I've been working on is I did some layering of cards. I made some card mats, which are just really just a rectangle is all they are. I made a bunch of circles to do some of my extra layering. I made a bunch of extra rectangles. I just made a bunch of extra things for embellishments. All right, so now let's talk about wobbles, and then I'm going to show you my projects. All right, so wobbles. Wobble springs. All right, wobble springs are awesome. Here's one here. Just get it flown off, okay? It goes like this. Boing, boing. Okay, let me find one with a ghost on it. A ghost on a wobble. Okay. See how it just wobbles? Boing, boing. All right, I'm going to show you how to use these. There's a link to these in the description of this video. You just turn over your little ghost and you peel off. These are wobble springs. You just peel off the little covering and there's a sticker and you just push them on there. Okay? And then you have a wobbly ghost. I'm just grabbing like a part of a paper pumpkin kit to put the wobbly ghost on. All right, so this is like the side of the box. Like this is the treats that you put together for this kit. And I'm going to do a whole video on all the different paper pumpkin projects because I'm only showing you a fraction of my many projects I've done. But like say this is the top of the box and you wanted to put this little ghost on there. You then peel off the sticky side and you have a ghost on a wobble. Boing. Okay, so that's what the spooky treats are all about. So now I'm about to show you my projects. And hi, Jen. You didn't get that kit? What, Jen? Why would you not get this kit? The next kit is Ho Ho Ho, by the way. If you subscribe now, you won't be getting this particular kit I'm showing you now. You're going to be getting, if you subscribe now before October 10th, you're going to get the Ho 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 kit. Which is going to be a Christmas card kit. But that's pretty cool. And then this was just paper pumpkin perks. All right. Anyway, let's show you all the projects that had something to do with the scan and cut. I have loads of them. 14 in all. Okay, so here's what I did. I'm working on, like I said, party favors for a Halloween party. And some cards for some friends. And I love Halloween cards because they're just so goofy and people crack up. Okay, here's a ghost. When you saw this ghost here, when I put the outline distance around it, I used the 0.04 outline distance. And this ghost here has no outline distance. So when you use 0 outline distance, you're going to get a ghost like that. Okay? And then, but I put a stamp on the box. So you could still see the outline of the gray granite around this ghost. I'm going to show you what's in each box so you can see what will fit in your little treat boxes. And where I got these sentiments from, I want to show you that. So here, Banner Year, I got some sentiments from Banner Year. Happy Haunting came from there. And this Hey Boo came from this retired stamp set called Cutest Halloween from last year. And then, of course, the stamp that you just saw came from here. So these little boxes are part of this kit. Okay, this one, this is from Bewitching. The Witch on a Wobble, the little feet cut out with the ScanNCut, lots of Wink Stella, and more treats. And I love this little piece, this wrap. So if you're familiar with my ScanNCut courses, I teach you how to make these in the ScanNCut courses. These are called match boxes because it looks like a little box of matches, you know, like you used to get at the, you know, like at a bar or somewhere. They used to give these out. Well, this little bat, if you took my Brother ScanNCut Fall Projects course, you learned about this. Well, now maybe isn't sure this little bat. Actually, this little bat came right from the ScanNCut. It's part of the Canvas Workspace projects. And this one is from a punch. In the Fall Projects course, we made these little coffin boxes using Template Maker. So be sure to check out that course if you want to get into making lots more 3D things. Anyhow, I think I showed you what was in this box already. Okay, spooky treats, more spooky treats. This one was stamped in gray granite. I did a little bit of fresh freesia around the circle there. I'll go over these in better detail and how to assemble these boxes and how to make some alternative projects in my paper pumpkin video that I'll do this weekend. I'll probably do it Saturday or maybe Sunday because I'm still working on the Rustic Harvest workshop series, and I want to make sure I do part 5 for that before I do the rest of the paper pumpkin. Okay, here's another one with this little ghost here. I just added the little Hey Boo ghost from this ghost here. I added it here. And these are the little pieces of, what are they called? These little washi tape. This was in the holiday catalog. All these little washi tapes. So gotta love all the Halloween stuff. Totally make the most of that. Okay, so there's little bats. You can either cut out bats from, you can find the bats from within Canvas Workspace inside the projects, add some Wink Stella to them, or if you have the spooky bat punch, which is a retired bat punch, you can cut out bats from that. Okay, this little spider came from the ScanNCut. All right, what else? Then I made some, I think I'm done showing you all the treats. And now I would like to show you this whole pile of cards that I made using the ScanNCut. So this is a piece, this front of the card, I took one of these boxes that are from the treat wrap, the matchbox, whatever. And I unfolded it, and I covered wherever there was like a little score mark, I covered it with washi tape. And then I just sort of covered, decorated it with some things I cut out with the ScanNCut. The little feet, the little ghost. This is a ghost without an outline distance. Extra rectangles I cut out. Okay, and this is a piece of the color to go with, you get a stamping spot with your kit, and this is the same piece of like Orchid Oasis. See how that coordinates? Okay. All right, so where do you get the fall class? Okay, Cynthia, are you in my ScanNCut Papered Chef ScanNCut group? Or actually, just if someone could write back to her the link to the group, maybe Linda. Then in there is all the information about my courses. Or just go to thepaperedchef.com and you can see all the information about my courses. I'll put coupons in the comments of this video later after I get done. All right, this is all ScanNCut. Rectangles, ghost, little feet. Okay, so this is just a little square card instead of a rectangle card. Oh, and by the way, I should show you all the insides of the cards because I decorated all the insides of all the cards. Okay, I'll show you the inside. They're all a little bit different on the inside. This one uses little bats inside. This one has Have a Fabulous Halloween from that sentiment and some extra little ghost inside. And this is Pumpkin Pie. Now, some of these elements, like this element and this little spider, came from the kit itself. Now, this paper back here, and this, it's the same paper. This paper and the star and this pumpkin paper and this paper and us paper. It's called the Celebrate Everything Designer Series paper. Okay, so this one has a wobble. Nice wobble. Hey Boo inside. So you could just go to town. This one has a lot of stamping on it. There's lots of stamping, the stars and the bats from the kit. Little elements from the paper pumpkin kit and just that extra thing from the ScanNCut. I really stretch my projects much further by cutting out loads and loads of ghost from the ScanNCut. These little stars came with the kit. And I still have some elements left over from the kit. I mean, not left over because I'm still making the treats. But this is like Trick or Treat is what came in the kit. And Happy Halloween. And I still have a lot more pieces that I'm still decorating the rest of the boxes. So this little one is one that came in the kit. See, it's a little bit bigger than the ones that we cut out with our ScanNCut, which makes it fun because then you have, and then you got these little spider webs with the kit. So during the, see, this is what the kit looks like. During the video, I'll do an unboxing of a full kit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 24. You get 24 of treat boxes in the Spooky Treats kit. Now, hopefully the refills will be out soon so you can get refills of these kits because for giving, like for making class sets, well, you have enough for a class set, but for giving to your friends and neighbors, Uber driver, anybody, just waitress, just start giving them out. It's the Halloween season and people will crack up. This is that Celebrate Everything Designer Series paper again. This is taking one of the boxes that have one of the boxes had this little web on it, this little box, and I just cut it apart and put it on the back of a card. Okay, and let's see what's on the inside of that. Happy Haunting again. Love that. And then that was the one I showed you earlier. That one wobbles the best. I'm not sure why that one wobbles so much better than the others. But I think I showed you all 14 projects now. Hope you get a good idea of what you could do with this technique. Once you learn how to cut out your stamped images, color them in a little bit, you have these cute little ghosts. You can just make different colors, have them peeking out. You can have them peeking out of the boxes. You can have the little witch feet peeking out of the boxes like that. I think that would be cute. Have them sticking out from upside down under the box. The only thing is about that, I'd put a little layer behind them because when you use the blends markers, which are alcohol markers, they do bleed through a little bit. And you might want to put like an extra layer behind them, but that would be cute coming out of the box. I love the little spiders that we cut out. This one needs, you could put a little spider right in that part. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed learning how to cut out stamped images. Whoops. That one needs to really go back on. Yeah, these wobble springs. I hope you like this technique. I hope you'll give it a try with whichever stamped images you have. And that is all for now. If you are in the U.S. and you'd like to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, please use the link in the description of this video. You'll get a crafty surprise each month. You never know what you're going to get, although we do know that the next kit's called Ho Ho Ho. It's $23.50, that's all, and it includes shipping. Comes right to your door. Thank you, Jean from Australia. And Jen, Cynthia. Okay, Cynthia, I'll be writing you about the fall class. That's all for now. This is the Papered Chef.